tutorial. It happens to be a continuation of the course, CIT202. It's a continuation of the course we're taking before now, and we're taking our bearing, all right, today from what we stopped in our last class. With this being said, let's go straight into it. So we have the course CIT202. Now, it's all about computer, and we're going to be expanding on some points very quickly as we walk through this together. Just a moment, I'm trying to figure out my notes here. Just some adjustment here and there, and we are good to go. So we are taking the classes of computer. Okay, we are taking the classes of computer by function. Classes computer by function. So we are taking in today's class. Starting with that of the server. Okay, starting with classification of computer by function. So let's take it up from the server. When we say the server, what are we referring to? Perhaps it might interest you to understand that the server is usually referred to a computer that is dedicated to just one thing. What is that thing the server is dedicated to? Store and retrieve large amounts of data. A computer dedicated to the task of storing and retrieving large amount of data. Okay, this is a computer, right? But it is different from every other computer you know. Perhaps, well, I guess you're surprised, but indeed it's true. It's a kind of computer that is different totally from every other kind of computer. What makes it different? Its function. What it's dedicated to is to what? The task of restoring, the task of storing and retrieving large amounts of data. We also have what we call, all right, the workstation. Workstations are also computers, and they are intended to serve one user, and many contain special hardware and, all right, enhancements not found on the personal computer. Now, this computer is meant to serve the workstation, all right, to serve, okay, one user. Now, this computer run operating systems that are normally associated with mainframe. Remember big frames, mainframes, usually one of the variants of Unix operating system. All right, it's more like a kind of ancient computer, like we all know the mainframe computer. Are we together? Just a moment. Okay, just trying to figure out my. Just a moment. Now we have that as that. We also have what we call the embedded computer system. The embedded computer, the embedded computer system. They are general purpose CPUs, okay, that are part of a machine or device. This computer runs a program that is stored in read-only memory and is only intended to operate a specific machine or device. All right. Familiar slash slash associated with mainframe computers. So we have the embedded computer, like I said, it's that is stored in read-only memory and is only intended to operate a specific machine. Also, we have the supercomputer focused on performing one task involving intents. All right, super com one task, just like the one station, one user. But when it comes to supercomputer is particular about the intensity. Okay, supercomputer is particular about the intensity. All right, the intensity of numerical calculation. Intensified numerical, all right, calculations. So we have data start. So very quickly, let's talk about the computer hardware. When we say computer hardware, what are we talking about? The computer hardware, all right, we need to understand something first. That the computer system is made up of the hardware and the software. Are we together? Computing system, right? The computer system is made up of the hardware and the software. Now, the software controls the computer and makes it do useful work. The software controls the computer and make it, all right, do useful things. Without the software, a computer is useless. All right, it's useless. You can compare it to a car without somebody to drive it. Okay. Now, the hardware on the other side is the physical component that makes a computer system. Okay, that makes a computer system. Are we together? This includes the computer processor, the monitor, the keyboard, the mouse, printer, and the likes. The hardware are the part of a computer, including the CPU and related microchips. You know this thing you find on the board, this green kind of looking board you find in electronics, call them their panel. All these microchips, black things with some lead soldered to the panel, very green. Okay. Other microchips and micro circuit, all right, circuitry, all these things are all under the keyboard. So we have these controls for computer. Now we also have what we call the processing devices. Processing devices. About this, though the term, the processing devices, we have the central processing unit as the major one. Okay, though the term relates to a specific chip. Okay, the central processing unit is related to a specific chip of the processor. Now, the CPU, what it does is that it performs, all right, and determines the rest of the computer's circuitry and chips. Don't forget, we said something about microchips the other time. Each and every one of them, they could be up to 100, depending on how big, all right, the panel is. All of these chips, they are connected to the CPU, all right, and this is one that determines, all right, the performance of these chips, all right. Computer set Q3, call it, determines the performance of the computer circuitry. All right, circuitry. This is I. So we have that as that. Circuit board, all right, like we said, houses the computer chips. Okay, the motherboard, to whether you are able to upgrade to a faster chip. It can also be referred to as a motherboard, and what we have been told here, and it depends. By this determines the speed of the computer as well, and it determines if there will be a need for an upgrade in the nearest future. So we have that as that. So we also have the memory. Okay. It's said to be one of the easiest pieces of hardware that can easily be misunderstood or confusing to identify. All right. It is the most common to confuse chip memory. All right. It's a common thing with confusing chip memory and disk storage. All right. There's a confusing thing among these two. Now let's take a step further. The hard disks can be used to what? Now, when we say chip memory, it's different from the hard disk or the disk storage. All right. The chip memory is inside the computer. All right. But the disk storage, you can remove. All right. You can store things in it and get rid of it. You can move it around. But the chip storage, they are in the computer on the motherboard. You find them there. So when we say hard disk, it can be used as a temporary memory when the program needs more than the chip can provide. Okay, definitely my system, regular system, all right. Everyone who uses a system, there's this thing called the external, call it external hard drive, external hard drive, any how you want to put it. All right, but the point here is that there are some things that you want to keep outside your computer in case anything might happen to your computer. You have your information from your data stored somewhere, even though it's still stored in your computer, or your case whereby there are certain things you need to download. The storage chip in your computer are not capable of downloading them or housing such. So you need to get an external, all right, support, and that's where the hard disk comes in. Okay, so we have disks are used to store information, like I said earlier. All information in the computers are stored in files. Okay, all information in computer are stored in files. Now, if the size of the file is measured by zip, by bits. I beg your pardon. Is measured by bits or bytes. Let's do that bits. Yeah, measured by bits. All right. So in our next class, take it up from here, and we'll expand more on that. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone. I believe you'll be able to gain something to this class. Do well to keep your notes updated and send them to the appropriate context. I look forward to seeing all the subject materials. You have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.